December 17th, 2025. The verdict was promised. The football world held its breath. 115 charges, the biggest legal case in sports history. The moment that would decide if the rules even matter anymore. And then, nothing. Silence. Another delay. Another year of waiting. But that wasn't even the most shocking moment of 2025. Because this year, football didn't just break, it shattered. Reality collapsed. Trust evaporated. And 5 viral moments exposed truths that the sport never wanted you to see. An AI filter that made the greatest player in history unrecognizable, but millions shared it without watching a single match. A spot-fixing scandal that proved gambling corruption has infiltrated deeper than anyone imagined. A Ballon d'Or leak that exposed the awards as a political circus, and then the wrong winner was announced anyway. And youth academies at the world's biggest clubs caught fabricating the ages of children. But here's what nobody is connecting. What if these 5 moments aren't separate scandals? What if they're all symptoms of the same disease? What if 2025 was the year football finally admitted it's broken beyond repair? Before I reveal the hidden pattern that connects all 5 of these viral disasters, you need to subscribe to Cyberboot. Because what you're about to discover in the next few minutes isn't just a countdown, it's an autopsy. An examination of the year football died. This is the definitive ranking of the 5 moments that broke football in 2025. And number 1, it's worse than you think. Welcome back to Cyberboot, where we don't just recap viral moments, we dissect them, connect them, and expose the systemic failures that mainstream media refuses to acknowledge. 2025 wasn't just another football season, it was the year the facade cracked, the year the algorithms took over, the year the institutions that govern the sport admitted, through their actions, not their words, that they have lost control. 5 viral moments, 5 breaking points, 5 pieces of evidence that prove football as we know it is over. But here's the thing about viral moments. They're not random, they're symptoms. When millions of people share a distorted AI image of Lionel Messi without watching his actual matches, that's not just a meme. That's a civilization choosing simulation over reality. When international footballers get banned for fixing yellow cards in matches broadcast to billions, that's not just corruption. That's proof the gambling industry has colonized the sport. When the Ballon d'Or leaks one winner but announces another, that's not just controversy. That's the media industrial complex admitting it's a scripted show. When elite academies can't verify the ages of their own youth players, that's not just negligence. That's institutional fraud. And when the biggest legal case in sports history gets delayed again after promises of resolution, that's not just bureaucracy. That's the powerful proving they're untouchable. These aren't 5 separate stories. They're 5 chapters in the same book. And the title of that book is The Year Football Stopped Pretending. So I'm going to rank these moments. From the amusing to the apocalyptic. From the viral sensation that made us laugh to the institutional failure that made us realize the game we love is rigged. And by the end of this video, you're going to have to answer one question for yourself. If football is broken beyond repair, why are we still watching? Let's begin with number 5, the moment that seems harmless. The meme that made the world laugh. But even this moment reveals something dark about what football has become. Number 5, the GOAT glitch. Messi's viral AI fail, December 22nd, 2025. A TikToker posts a selfie with Lionel Messi. Seems normal, right? Meet your hero, take a photo, share it online, except the photo looks wrong. The TikToker had used a facial distortion filter, one of those AI effects that warps faces into grotesque, unrecognizable shapes. And when applied to the selfie with Messi, it made the 8-time Ballon d'Or winner look like a melted wax sculpture. Within 48 hours, the image had over 50 million views across TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. 50 million people saw a distorted, AI-generated version of Lionel Messi. You know how many people watched Inter Miami's last match of the 2025 MLS season? 2.3 million. Think about that ratio. 22 times more people saw the fake Messi than the real Messi. On the surface, this is harmless. It's a meme. It's funny. The internet does this to everyone. Celebrities, athletes, politicians. No big deal. But here's why it broke football in 2025. This moment crystallized the shift from football consumption to content consumption. In 2025, more people engaged with images of Messi than with his actual performances. His Instagram posts got more views than his matches. His brand partnerships were discussed more than his assists. The man is still playing football at 38 years old. He just won the MLS Cup in December 2025. But the viral moment of his year wasn't a goal, or a dribble, or a trophy lift. It was an AI-distorted meme. And here's the part that should terrify you. The algorithm rewarded this. TikTok's algorithm doesn't care if you're watching real football or fake football. It cares about engagement. A distorted face gets more comments, more shares, more reactions than a beautiful goal. So the algorithm promotes the distortion and buries the reality. Football in 2025 wasn't a sport, it was content, and content doesn't have to be real to go viral. This is why this moment ranks at number 5. It's not the most damaging scandal, but it's the most symbolic, because if the greatest player in history can be reduced to a distorted meme that gets 22 times more attention than his actual matches, what does that say about what we value? What does that say about what football has become? All right, here's my first question for you. When was the last time you watched a full 90-minute football match without checking your phone? Be honest. Drop your answer in the comments, recently or been a while, because this statistic is going to determine whether football survives the next decade. Number 4, the fake age academy scandal, the integrity break. Let's move from the amusing to the alarming. Early 2025, reports began circulating, initially dismissed as conspiracy theories, that Manchester City and Manchester United's youth academies were under investigation for potential age fraud and eligibility scandals. Not in obscure African academies where oversight is difficult, not in South American clubs with limited resources. At Manchester City and Manchester United, two of the richest, most scrutinized, most technologically advanced football organizations on planet Earth. According to reports from The Athletic and The Guardian in early 2025, investigators were examining whether youth players at both clubs had falsified documentation regarding birth certificates, nationality, eligibility for youth tournaments, residency status for academy enrollment. Both clubs denied wrongdoing. They claimed any discrepancies were administrative errors or third-party agent issues. The investigations were quietly ongoing as of December 2025, with no public resolution. But here's why this broke football. If the biggest clubs in the world, with billion-dollar budgets, compliance departments, and legal teams, can't verify the age and identity of children in their academies, what does that say about the integrity of anything in football? Think about the implications. If Club A signs a 14-year-old phenom who's actually 17, they're competing against younger players with a massive physical advantage. The entire scouting system is compromised. For youth tournaments, if teams are fielding overage players in U17 World Cups or academy competitions, every trophy is fraudulent. If a club sells an academy graduate as a 19-year-old prospect who's actually 23, they're committing financial fraud. And here's the part that nobody wants to talk about. This scandal implicates parents, agents, and club officials, because a child doesn't fake their own birth certificate. An adult does. This isn't new. Age fraud has plagued African and Asian football for decades. But in 2025, it was exposed at the elite level, and the silence from UEFA and FIFA was deafening. No major sanctions, no reforms announced, no systemic fix, just investigations ongoing, quietly, while the academies kept signing players. This moment ranks at number 4, because it's not just about cheating, it's about the foundation of football. Youth academies are supposed to be the pure part of the sport, where kids play for love, not money, where talent is nurtured, not bought. But if the academies themselves are built on fraud, then there's no pure part left. It's corruption all the way down. And the institutions that are supposed to stop this, they looked the other way, because enforcing the rules would expose how widespread the problem is. And they can't afford that scandal, so they let it slide. And football's integrity? It broke. But wait, If you think faking the ages of children is dark, number 3 is where we enter the realm of organized crime. Number 3, the spot-fixing bans, the dark side, December 20th, 2025. 4 professional footballers receive bans from FIFA for spot-fixing, not match-fixing, spot-fixing, a more insidious form of corruption. The players, including New Zealand international midfielder Clayton, were banned for their roles in fixing specific in-game events. Specifically, yellow cards. Here's how it works. A gambler places a bet on a specific player receiving a yellow card in a specific match. The player deliberately commits a foul at a predetermined time. The referee shows the yellow card. The gambler wins massive payouts because the odds of a specific player getting a yellow at a specific time are very high. The player receives a cash payment from the gambling syndicate. Clayton and the other players were caught in a sting operation after unusual betting patterns were flagged by monitoring agencies. Lewis received a 2-year ban. The other players received sentences ranging from 18 months to 5 years, depending on the severity of their involvement. Now here's why this broke football. This wasn't in the Belarusian 3rd division. This wasn't in a semi-professional league with no oversight. Clayton is a New Zealand international. He played for Morecambe in the English Football League. These matches were televised, bet on by millions of people. And throughout 2025, while fans watched these matches, while pundits analysed tactics, while bettors placed wagers, the outcomes of specific moments were predetermined, not just match results. Individual actions. Think about what this means. Every time you see a player make a stupid foul for no reason, was it deliberate? Every time a defender gets a yellow card for a tactical foul that seems unnecessary, was it fixed? Every time a midfielder picks up a booking in the 78th minute for time wasting, was someone betting on that exact moment? Football in 2025 is drowning in gambling sponsorships. Betting companies sponsor leagues, the Championship, Serie A, La Liga. Betting ads appear on every broadcast. Betting odds are displayed during matches on TV graphics. Clubs have betting companies as shirt sponsors. And now we know players are being recruited by gambling syndicates to fix specific moments. According to Sport Radar, the organization that monitors betting patterns, there were over 100 suspicious matches globally in 2025. That's 3 matches per day where betting patterns suggest corruption. And only 4 players were banned. 4 out of thousands implicated. Why so few? Because proving spot fixing requires surveillance evidence, financial transaction records, player confessions or whistleblowers, and gambling syndicates are sophisticated. They use cryptocurrency, offshore accounts, and encrypted communications. This moment ranks at number 3 because it proves football is no longer a sport. It's a gambling platform that occasionally has matches. And the players, they're not just athletes. They're assets in a multi-billion-dollar betting industry. And when you're an asset, your integrity is for sale. 2025 was the year we stopped being able to trust what we were watching because some of it wasn't real. It was theater, scripted by gamblers, performed by players, broadcast to millions who had no idea. Real question, do you still trust what you see on the pitch? Or has gambling corruption made you suspicious of every foul, every yellow card, every mistake? Drop trust or suspicious in the comments, because your answer will tell me if football can ever recover from this. October 28th, 2025, the Ballon d'Or ceremony, the most prestigious individual award in football. But this year, it was carnage. Days before the ceremony, the narrative was set. The media machine was pushing a massive rivalry. The established superstar Ousmane Dembele versus the teenage prodigy Lamine Yamal. The leaks suggested a photo finish. Yamal was the fan favorite, the star boy of Barcelona, Rafinha. He was barely in the conversation. The leaks had him scraping the bottom of the top 10. Fans debated Dembele versus Yamal, but nobody was looking at the numbers of the man standing in Yamal's shadow. October 28th arrives. The envelope is opened. Actual winner, Ousmane Dembele. And rightfully so. He led PSG to a historic treble, finishing as their top scorer. A monster season, no arguments there. But then the full rankings flashed on the screen. Long pause. Wait! What? Second place, Lamine Yamal. Fifth place, Rafinha. Fifth? Rafinha, the man who actually carried Barcelona, the man with better stats than the guy in second place. Social media didn't just explode, it melted down. Dembele deserved the win, but Rafinha fifth is criminal. How is Yamal second? Rafinha had more goals and assists. They robbed Rafinha of the podium for PR. Rafinha carried Barca in the UCL and Clásicos. Yamal just got the edits. France Football issued a statement claiming the voting panel values style of play and future potential. But the damage was done, because the ranking exposed one truth: performance doesn't matter, narrative does. Here's why Rafinha at fifth broke football. We can accept Dembele winning. He had the trophies, but placing Yamal and two others above Rafinha proved that the award is PR-driven. Yamal got silver because he's the face of the new generation, blind to reality. The voters ignored the man doing the actual heavy lifting because he isn't as flashy. Marketing over merit. Rafinha is the engine. Yamal is the hood ornament. The voters picked the ornament. Let's look at the evidence. Ousmane Dembele's 2025. Winner, Ligue 1, Coupe de France, Champions League, treble. Status, PSG top scorer. Verdict, deserved winner. Rafinha vs Lamine Yamal, the robbery. Rafinha, fifth. Highest goal contributions, GA in the squad. Carried Barcelona through the UCL knockout stages alone. Delivered a masterclass in every single El Clásico. Yamal, the second. Incredible talent, viral moments, but statistically inferior to Rafinha. Rafinha had a better individual season than everyone except maybe the winner. But he finished fifth? The only explanation that makes sense. The system punishes players who aren't marketable enough. Rafinha doesn't have the teenage prodigy narrative of Yamal. He just works harder, runs more, scores more, and assists more. And for the Ballon d'Or voters, that wasn't enough. They wanted the new Messi narrative for second place. They didn't want the guy who actually kept the team alive. The award isn't about football anymore, it's about marketing. And here's the part that breaks the system. If fans can't trust the objective rankings, where the guy with the most GA and big game performances gets top 3, then how can they trust anything in football? Can't trust referees, VAR is inconsistent. Can't trust players, spot fixing. Can't trust academies, age fraud. Can't trust awards, political circus. This moment ranks at number 2 because it's the moment football's institutions admitted they're performative, not legitimate. The Ballon d'Or in 2025 acknowledged the rightful king, Dembele, but they sacrificed the truth to build a prince, Yamal. And Rafinha, he was the casualty of a scripted show, but as broken as the awards are, number 1 is the moment that proves the entire sport is ungovernable. Number 1, the verdict that never came, the ultimate break. December 17th, 2025. The date was promised, the verdict was imminent. The football world prepared for the biggest announcement in sports legal history. Manchester City, 115 charges. Financial fair play violations spanning over a decade. Allegations of inflated sponsorship deals, off-the-books player payments, false accounting. Obstruction of investigations. If guilty, the sanctions could include points deductions, title stripping, relegation transfer bans. The hearing had concluded in early December. Legal experts said a verdict before Christmas was highly likely. December 17th, the Premier League announces another delay. The verdict will now come in early 2026. No specific date given. And that's when football broke. Not because City were found guilty or innocent, but because the delay proved one thing: the powerful are untouchable. Here's why this is number 1. Why this is the moment that broke football beyond repair. This case has been ongoing since February 2023, nearly 3 years. In those 3 years, Manchester City won the Premier League twice. Manchester City won the Champions League. Manchester City spent 300+ million on transfers. Manchester City generated billions in revenue. And the entire time, the 115 charges hung over them. Unresolved, ignored by some, obsessed over by others, but never decided. And here's the part that proves the system is rigged. If a small club, let's say Luton Town or Nottingham Forest, were charged with even 10 financial violations, they'd be sanctioned within months. But Manchester City? 3 years. And counting. Why? Because City have 1 billion in legal resources, political connections to Gulf states, leverage over broadcasters, they're a ratings draw. The ability to threaten the Premier League with legal warfare. The Premier League is terrified of sanctioning City, because City can destroy them in court. And that's why this is number one, because it proves football is no longer governed by rules, it's governed by power. If you have enough money, enough lawyers, enough political leverage, you can delay justice indefinitely. The 115 charges aren't about financial violations anymore. They're about whether the sport has any authority left. And the answer, as of December 2025, is no. This moment didn't just break football, it exposed football as a simulation of a sport, a corporate entertainment product with fake rules that only apply to the weak. The verdict that never came wasn't just a delay, it was an admission that the game we love is rigged. And everyone knows it, and nobody can stop it. Final question before we wrap. Do you believe Manchester City will ever face real consequences? Or is this case going to be delayed forever until everyone forgets? Drop justice coming or never happening in the comments, because your answer will tell me if you still have faith in this sport. So there you have it. The definitive ranking of the 5 moments that broke football in 2025. From the AI meme that proved we care more about content than reality, to the spot-fixing bans that proved gambling has colonized the sport, to the Ballon d'Or chaos that proved awards are political theater, to the academy scandal that proved even youth football is corrupt, to the verdict that never came, the ultimate proof that the powerful write their own rules. 2025 wasn't just another season, it was the year football stopped pretending. Before you go, I need 4 things from you. Subscribe to Cyberboot right now. We're the only channel that connects the dots, exposes the patterns, and refuses to accept the mainstream narrative. If you want football analysis that respects your intelligence, this is your home. Hit that like button if any of these 5 moments made you question what football has become. Your engagement tells YouTube that real analysis matters. Get into the comments and answer the 3 questions I asked. When did you last watch a full 90-minute match without checking your phone? Recently or been a while? Do you trust what you see on the pitch? Trust or suspicious? Will Man City ever face consequences? Justice coming or never happening? Drop your answers now. This is the smartest football community on YouTube. Let's prove it. Share this video with one person who still thinks football is fine. Change their mind. Start the conversation. 2025 was the year football broke. And 2026? It's either the year we fix it, or the year we admit it's broken forever. This has been Cyberboot. Stay informed, stay critical, and never stop asking questions. Because the moment we accept the broken system is the moment football truly dies.